Once upon a time, in a kingdom blanketed by snow, there lived a queen. One day she pricked her finger. Seeing the blood on the snow, she whispered a wish.
A daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as dark as ebony.
Her wish came true. She named her Snow White. But joy turned to sorrow, for the queen passed soon after. The king grieved for a long time before marrying again. But his new queen carried a secret. Her heart was cold and bitter. This queen possessed a magic mirror, a gift from the sorcerers of the land. Every day she would stand before it, basking in its flattery.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
You, my queen, are the fairest of them all. It was her favorite ritual until one fateful day. The mirror gave a different answer.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
You are fair, my queen, it's true, but Snow White is even fairer than you. Jealousy burned through the queen like wildfire. How could she be outshone by a mere child?
Take Snow White into the forest and end her life. Bring me her heart in this box.
Her gaze left no room for mercy. But the huntsman, seeing the innocence in Snow White's eyes, could not carry out the wicked deed.
Run, child, run as far and as fast as you can. Stay hidden and never return to the palace.
And with that he left her alone among the towering trees. Snow White ran until her legs could carry her no more. Lost and afraid, she stumbled across a tiny cottage nestled under the canopy of the forest. Inside, everything was curious and small, tiny chairs, little plates, and 7 beds no larger than a loaf of bread. Exhausted, she lay across 3 of them and fell into a dreamless sleep. When night came, the cottage's owners returned. They were 7 dwarfs, miners who delved deep into the earth for gold and precious gems. They were startled to find the young girl in their home.
Where did she come from? She's lovely. She can stay, if she's willing to tidy up.
When Snow White woke and told her story, the dwarfs took her in without hesitation. She became like a sister to them, and they vowed to keep her safe. Each morning, as they left for the mines, they would warn her.
Beware of strangers. The forest is riddled with danger.
And Snow White, grateful for their kindness, promised to be careful.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who in this land is fairest of all?
You, my queen, are fair, it's true. But Snow White, beyond the 7 mountains, with the 7 dwarfs, is still 1,000 times fairer than you. The queen's rage erupted. She vowed Snow White would die and fashioned an enchanted corset laced with deadly magic.
Pretty ribbons for sale, my dear. The finest stay laces for a lovely girl.
Snow White, enchanted by the shimmering laces and forgetting all caution, allowed the peddler to fit the beautiful corset.
Now I am the fairest once more.
But fate, it seemed, was on Snow White's side. The dwarfs returned early, loosened the deadly corset, and revived her.
You must never open the door again.
Snow White nodded, her fear growing. The Queen's fury swelled when she learned that Snow White had survived. Undeterred, she crafted a second plan. This time she enchanted a comb, swearing it would bring out the shine of any hair it touched, but hide a deadly magic. Once more disguised, she lured Snow White with sweet words.
Child, let me comb your beautiful hair. Such lovely locks deserve the finest care.
But as soon as the comb grazed her scalp, the poison worked its treachery, and Snow White fell lifeless to the floor. Again, the dwarfs rushed to her side, removing the comb just in time to save her life. The Queen's heart was now consumed by hatred. "I will stop at nothing," she hissed. "This time she will never wake." Her final weapon was her most sinister, a beautiful red apple, polished so brightly it seemed irresistible. But lurking beneath its flawless skin was a deadly venom.
One bite, dearie, a gift from my orchard so juicy and sweet.
It looked so enticing, a promise of sweetness. Snow White hesitated. But the Queen took a bite from the opposite side, feigning safety. With her fears quelled, Snow White took the fateful bite and fell still. When the dwarfs arrived, it was too late. No potion nor golden touch could revive her. Their grief was unending as they placed her in a glass coffin where her beauty could shine even in death. Day and night they kept vigil, their hearts burdened with sorrow. But one day, hope arrived in the form of a prince who stumbled upon the cottage during a journey. Struck by Snow White's entrancing beauty, he pleaded with the dwarfs.
"Let me bring her to my castle, where she will be honored forever."
Reluctantly, they agreed. As the prince's servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, jostling the princess. A piece of poisoned apple lodged in her throat came loose. And suddenly, Snow White's eyes fluttered open.
"Where am I?"
"You are safe now, Snow White."
The dwarfs, overjoyed, celebrated their beloved friend's miraculous revival. The prince asked for Snow White's hand in marriage, and she accepted, her heart full of gratitude. When the wedding day arrived, guests from all corners of the kingdom gathered to celebrate the union. But the wicked queen was not among them. Her power had faded, and she wandered into obscurity, never to be seen again. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, their days filled with laughter and love. And the 7 dwarfs remained by her side, a family bound by loyalty, courage, and magic. Forevermore, Snow White's tale would serve as a reminder, a triumph of innocence over cruelty, kindness over envy, and love over all. And they lived happily ever after.